Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Florida Sports Show. I'm Chris Porter alongside Evan Closky. Evan, it's Thanksgiving and I'm ready to eat good.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone who's watching. We have a lot to talk about this week. The doctor is back in because Baker Mayfield is hurt. We have a Sunshine State rivalry game cooking up, plus our best bets in the Ultimate Stakes. But first, we're starting with you, Chris, and those Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's do it. The Jags in Nashville Sunday taking on the Titans, two longtime rivals squaring off and going in opposite directions. The Jaguars in the thick of the playoff race while the Titans are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Liam Cohen's team is only one game behind the AFC South leading Colts, and they know Tennessee can't be taken lightly. It's a team with a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward who's improving each week, but a squad that has shattered the Big Cats' playoff dreams in years past. The Jags have won 2 straight and will be playing on the road for the 4th time in 5 weeks. The Road Warriors say they're expecting a battle.
We know them, they know us, and we're divisional opponents. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think one year we were like 1-8 as well, too. They're about to go into the playoffs, and we beat them to stop them to go into the playoffs. So, I mean, anything can happen. And just knowing from the past, I know for me, there's no way I can get complacent.
It's one of those games that we understand that anything can happen, right? Any given Sunday, anything can happen, but especially in division games where there's maybe just that little extra, want to on both sides. So we know what this challenge is. Records don't mean anything.
Jags fans, be on high alert. This could be a trap game.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Jaguars' offense has been looking good, minus the turnovers. And Parker Washington is having a breakout season.
Absolutely. The third season is proven to be the charm for the receiver/return man, Parker Washington. Parker taking full advantage of every opportunity he gets on the field. Last week he had a big catch in overtime with the Jaguars win in the desert against the Arizona Cardinals. And did you know Parker leads all NFL punt returners in yards per return? No one in these parts is surprised by his success. Parker put everyone on notice during training camp and in the process earned the trust of his quarterback.
He's been playing awesome. I mean, I can't speak highly enough of him and just how he's attacked this year, and not just how he plays on Sunday, the way he prepares and the way he practices. He's earned all these opportunities, and just proud of how he's been playing and excited just to keep building on that chemistry because you can tell it's definitely coming along more and more.
I'm not surprised at all. I've been telling y'all from the jump how special of a player he is. I've been with him for 6 years, and every single time something pops off, he gets a punt in his hand, I'm like, he's gone. Like, I don't even got to watch it, So Parker's great, man, and he pushes me to, want to be even better.
Parker's head coach singing his praises. He says Parker works his tail off, and it's showing up on the field.
Hey, Brenton Strange ain't too bad himself. As for the Buccaneers, they have hit rock bottom. In every season as head coach of the Buccaneers, Todd Bowles hits a 3-game losing streak. In the process, Baker Mayfield was injured on a scramble, nursing a shoulder sprain. The good news is the injury isn't a long-term issue. The bad news is he is not participating at practice. Teddy Bridgewater is expected to get most of the reps this week. In 2021, Baker played through a torn labrum in the same non-throwing shoulder. He says that experience will shape his process on whether or not he suits up against the Cardinals.
A little bit, just from the physical aspect of it. I don't think I was physically able to do the things I wanted to in 2021 with the hurt shoulder. And that's the biggest thing is don't want to hold this team back. Obviously, each game here on out is extremely important, but we're more than Teddy's more than capable of handling this on his own. So it's managing that, understanding where I'm at physically, and going from there.
The good news is Ben Bredeson, Hassan Reddick, Jamel Dean, and Bucky Irving all have a chance to play Sunday.
Yeah, as for the rest of the team, what is the mentality right now? Because these past 2 weeks, they were rough to watch.
Yeah, it was really rough to watch. Let me start first with my glass half full here. The team will likely get Bucky Irving back, which is going to be a big boost for the offense. When Ben Bredeson is a full go again, hopefully this weekend, that offensive line is almost back to full strength. So better days are ahead. Also, the Buccaneers have the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. But let me call out the defense because that group got dog-walked back-to-back weeks. It's more than just winning a ball game, Chris. This is about pride. There are Super Bowl champions on this defense, former first and second round picks, dudes who make a ton of money in this league. Y'all got to show up against the Cardinals.
But we got to keep our confidence. This league will humble you. Young guys are learning that. But guys got to stay together, most importantly. And you got to avoid the finger pointing. And, you know, you get whooped like that on national TV, everybody just go to your own separate corner, look yourself in the mirror, and figure out how I can do better.
Now, the Cardinals aren't a great team, but only once this season they scored less than 20 points, and Jacoby Brissett is flinging that thing. So that's going to be a tough test regardless. Tampa Bay needs a win, Chris.
You got them fired up. College football, FSU taking on Florida Saturday afternoon at 4:30 in the Swamp on ESPN2, and nobody cares. The Seminoles president, AD, and boosters all agree that the best move for the program right now is to stick with Mike Norvell at least for one more season. But they all claim major change is coming. Norvell has agreed to structural adjustments inside the program aimed at improving performance. They're going to add resources when it comes to recruiting, the roster, and personnel to give Norvell the best chance to rebound. Heard this before. The decision to stick with Norvell came after the Noles' 21-11 loss to the Wolfpack of NC State, dropping FSU to 5-6 and leaving them needing a win at Florida to become bowl eligible. But here's what this is really all about. The money. Firing Norvell would have cost FSU more than $70 million in buyouts.
No, we have not lived up to expectations. We fully capable football team, and that's not good enough, and it's not been good enough for the 6 losses that we have, and it's extremely frustrating. However many yards, differentials, improvements, all the crap that we got to make plays to win the games, and we got to do a good job coaching them. We got to do a good job, as players. We got to do a good job as everybody, and we've not done a good enough job.
Norvell, 38-33 in 6 seasons at FSU with only 2 winning seasons and an ACC title in 2023. Awful.
I respect the loyalty, but good luck to the Noles. As for the other team, the Florida Gators cannot make a bowl game, and they desperately want this season to end. They're on a 4-game losing streak where they trail Tennessee at halftime, 31-0 last week. DJ Lagway had the worst QBR of his career, throwing 17 passes for 116 total yards. And Mike Norvell remembers last year when the Gators planted that flag in Tallahassee. We don't know who the next head coach of the program is going to be yet, but it won't be Billy Gonzalez. No. The interim head coach isn't making any excuses since the Napier firing. He'll keep pushing his boys to the very end, and hopefully that's with his first ever win at the helm.
I got into this profession to try to help our players, and that's going to continue to keep pushing me and continue to keep grinding. Obviously, the success, it's not where we want it to be, like I said, or for the University of Florida. So, but yeah, that doesn't change. We're going to keep pushing.
If the Gators lose, it will be the worst season since 1979. If the team wins, it will be the worst season since 2013. Either way, it's senior day. Plenty of players are auditioning for the NFL, the Florida program, and yes, other programs as well when it comes to the portal.
Tough times in Gainesville for Gator Nation. Let's go to South FLA. The Miami Hurricanes, led by Carson Beck, as of right now in the college football playoff. Beck has put together a string of good games, and he looked great against the Hokies of Virginia Tech last week. The Jacksonville native and Mandarin alum threw for 320 yards and 4 touchdowns. But Canes fans, beware. Your team will be playing in the cold for the first time this season, and the Pitt Panthers have a good defense. Also, your head coach, Mario Cristobal, has a history of screwing up in big games late in the season. Back to back. He played in a lot of big games while between the hedges at Georgia and knows what it takes to win them. Beck says you've got to stay focused on the main thing. But let's not kid ourselves. It's always good when your signal caller is playing his best ball at this time of year.
Right? It would be stupid to not at least recognize the magnitude of the game and what it means and the implications behind it. But you just got to go play football. And again, just go out there, have fun, and do what we've been doing, and go out there and execute. And that's all you really can focus on.
Also, the Canes are still in position to possibly earn a spot in the ACC championship game. Here's what needs to happen. They've got to beat Pitt and get help from a combination of other teams losing. Specifically, they need at least 2 losses from the trio of Duke, SMU, and Virginia to create the necessary tiebreaker scenarios.
In the ACC, man, anything is possible.
True.
As for some more NFL news, the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its 26 modern era semifinalists. Could this be the year for former Jag Fred Taylor? We know it won't be the year for Simeon Rice, who is moving backwards here. This man, in the past, trying to be a semifinalist. From 1998 through 2005, Rice led the NFL with 101.5 sacks. Since sacks were an official NFL statistic, every player who has led the NFL in sacks over an 8-year span and eligible for the Hall of Fame is already enshrined. And you're telling me he's not even a semifinalist?
Nope.
He's going to go into the Bucs Ring of Honor this weekend, which will be cool. But this hurts for him, the fan base. There was no one more dominant on the edge than Simeon Rice at his peak, Chris.
Doesn't make sense, and I'm still trying to figure out why Jaguars great Fred Taylor is not already in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I'm with you.
This marks the 7th consecutive year Freddie T has been a semifinalist. The last 2 years, he has been a finalist. Let me make the case. Freddie T played 11 seasons here in the River City, where he rushed for 11,271 yards and scored 70 total touchdowns. Taylor made 1 Pro Bowl and was a second-team All-Pro in 2007 as well. Taylor's 11,271 career rushing yards are 18th, the 18th most in NFL history. He played 13 seasons in the NFL, the final 2 with the Patriots. It is time to get Freddie T in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
What is that? What is that here? Needs to knock. My man needs to knock. In the heart of the game, it's a senior day to remember for this Sarasota native. How this walk superseded any touchdown run on the field from Auburn.
But first, Shedeur Sanders got the win in his first NFL start against the Las Vegas Raiders. Why? What happened in Vegas ain't staying in Vegas. I'll explain it in the Ultimate Rush. Time now for the Ultimate Rush. This is where we dig into some sexy topics affecting the Sunshine State and above and beyond.
Above, beyond, whatever. The only catch is we have 60 seconds to make our point. And I'm going to start us off with the college football playoffs, and more specifically, college football in general. There are many Gators fans keeping an eye on Lane Kiffin, who looks like he's clearly 1 foot out the door at Ole Miss. This all happens while his team is likely heading to the postseason. If North Texas makes the playoffs, they'll be in the same situation with Eric Morris heading to Oklahoma State. This is a wannabe pro-level product. Just an entity that thinks it's a big dog and is so far from reality. We are entering the best moment of college football on the calendar, and you might have a playoff team without its coach for the postseason because it's leaving for a school who didn't make the postseason. And even if Lane and Eric finish the year with their squad, doing so puts them at such a disadvantage for next year with recruiting. I was listening to Nick Saban last week on College Game Day, and he was saying how college football needs to move to an NFL type of calendar, no signing day until the season is over, have some sort of OTAs where coaches and players can figure things out in the offseason, then go on your merry way. But all of this right now is foolishness. Before we fix the college football playoffs and keep adding teams and doing this and changing that, we got to fix the college football calendar. That is the issue, the biggest issue with this sport.
But everybody wants to cry about players being paid and players doing all this transfer. I don't even want to hear it. Now to the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, and what went down in Las Vegas last week. It was the gamble everyone around this team has been begging for. Starting rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. And let's keep it 100. When's the last time you cared about watching the Cleveland Browns? I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll answer it for you. You have not. But last Sunday, I bet good money you had one of the TVs, if not all of the TVs in your house, tuned in to the Browns-Raiders game. Yes, Myles Garrett had 3 of Cleveland's 10 sacks, and it should have been the headline, but nothing was going to overshadow the debut of Shedeur Sanders, and the rookie delivered. The numbers were not sexy, but he was poised, clean, and efficient. More importantly, he got the win, snapping the Browns' 3-game skid and a 17-game, let me say it again, a 17-game losing streak by Cleveland quarterbacks making their first start. The Browns looked alive for the first time all season. Shedeur brought juice, belief, and even a little swagger. Let me say this about your head coach, Mr. Stefanski. You were wrong for not giving him the game ball. This dude got it done when you were at the bottom of the barrel. He should have gotten the game ball.
You were wrong going Dylan Gabriel. I mean, geez. Time now for the heart of the game, where we go beyond the X's and O's and remind everyone why we all fell in love with sports in the first place. And I've got a great one this week. You're seeing Sarasota native and former USF Auburn running back Brian Bettee walk onto the field at Jordan-Hare and enjoy his senior day. Bettee was fighting for his life last year after he was shot in his hometown. Sadly, his brother died in that shooting. Initially, doctors warned the Bettee family Brian might never walk again. But here he is, about a year and a half later, having the crowd at Auburn go wild for him, not for a touchdown, but walking onto the field. Bettee is also a 2025 Wilma Rudolph Award winner, which is given to college athletes to exemplify the true spirit of perseverance, determination, and resilience.
Just a blessing. This young man survived and was able to return to the field and be celebrated by his teammates and Auburn fans. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. In the ultimate stakes, the Jaguars face one of the worst teams in the league. Plus, the Buccaneers return home in need of a win. We have our best bets in 2 minutes.
This might sound strange, but I wasn't always a good dad. My kid needed to hear me say, I'm sorry.
See what you got. Oh, you gonna back me down? So you gonna pull it?
He knows I'm not perfect, but he knows I'm trying. That's why I choose to be a father first.
We are back for the ultimate stakes. This is where we look at the odds via the Hard Rock betting app and give you our thoughts on teams, games. It all depends on the week.
Just a reminder, entertainment purposes only, and I'm going to start with our Jacksonville Jaguars and Tennessee Titans. The Jags in Nashville taking on the Titans. I told you earlier in this show, this is a rivalry game, and as I said, anything can happen. Here's some good news. The Jags pass rush has been getting after opposing quarterbacks lately. They have not changed the scheme, but their head coach says what they've been doing is the front and the coverage, they've been on the same page. As a result, it's not allowing quarterbacks a whole bunch of time. The Hard Rock betting app, as of the taping of this show, the Jags 6.5-point favorites. The Titans have a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward, so maybe Anthony Campanelli's defense can confuse him, but I'm taking the under on Sunday's Titans-Jags game. I think the Jags will win by 3.
Okay. As for the Buccaneers, as of this taping, the Bucs are favorites by about a field goal. Going back to September 28th, the Buccaneers have played one team who is currently not a playoff squad, and that was the New Orleans Saints. Baker Mayfield was hurt in that game, and they still cruised to a 23-3 victory. So this is a big step down in competition. I really want to take the Bucs in this spot, especially because they need the win so badly. But, hey, Bucky Irving's going to come back. I know he's going to be on a little bit of a pitch count, which is probably going to bring his yardage down. I'm looking at the app, and it was 40.5 rushing yards. Give me that. Bucky's going to be involved. Maybe it's only 12 to 15 touches, but I do believe Bucky is the right play here, and I also think the Cardinals are going to throw it a lot. McBride, Brissett, Wilson, round them all up. I like them a lot.
That was long. We're back with the last word after this. Time now for the last word. This is where we clear the paint and sound off on a topic that has caught our attention. Evan starts us off.
I'm talking about Jameis Winston, and he has taken a fat bite of the Big Apple. We got the full experience in Detroit last week. 360-plus yards, only completed half of his passes, threw a pick, but also caught a touchdown. There was a pregame speech, and, of course, a loss. The NFL is better when Jameis Winston is playing. He's just incredible entertainment. And what we know is that in the future, the city's going to fall in love with him, and then in the not-so-distant future, he's going to throw 3 or 4 picks and remind everyone, oh, yeah, that's why he isn't a starter in this league. Either way, I tune in, Chris. I was locked into that Lions-Giants game, and it's because Jameis is a hilarious human being on and off the field.
I love Jameis Winston as well, my friend. I follow him on social media. On this Thanksgiving weekend, I'm so thankful for many things. My wife, my daughter, my family. And I'm also thankful as a sports fan because in November, we are not talking NFL draft in Jacksonville, but the playoffs. I know many around these parts have been giving Trevor Lawrence a lot of heat, in particular for the 4 turnovers he had in the win against the Raiders last week. But Jags fans, while we know turning the ball over at this rate is not sustainable, if the goal is not to just make the playoffs, but make a deep run. Let's not miss the forest for the trees. It's late November, and our Jags are in the playoff hunt. And at the time of the taping of this show, the Big Cats are just a game behind the AFC South leading Indianapolis Colts. They've still got 2 head-to-head matchups against the Colts. And I'm thankful that we're in contention. Let's go!
Yeah, I am thankful for you, my friend. I want to reiterate the thoughts we had at the beginning of the show. Thank you so much for watching us, and I hope all of you have a wonderful holiday with your friends and family. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ultimate Florida Sports Show. Hopefully we can continue talking about playoffs all the way into January.
I'll be eating good. I'll be eating good this weekend, Evan. I hope you will too.
Gotta get a different belt for both of us.
Bye.